are you when no one needs you? If you're a woman over 40 and you're struggling to answer that question, then I need to tell you, you need a hobby. A hobby that could probably be a creative one, such as YouTube. But don't let me go on and on about it. I'm not a YouTube ambassador or advocate. However, I'm an advocate for women in their 40s, millennial women. You don't need a hobby for productivity or money, but you need a hobby for you. So who are you without being needed? Because while you think about an answer to that question, I'm going to share with you an 86-year-old woman named Sandra Hart. She's a YouTube creator. She's an over 80 influencer, and she has a niche that I'd like to share with you on YouTube. You see, Sandra Hart simply shares life wisdom on YouTube and on TikTok, and she became a phenomenon. A lot of young women look up to the advice that Sandra gives. I watched Sandra for over a couple of years, and recently I came across an interview with Sprout. Sprout is another wonderful channel that I love watching to get other people's perspective, especially people in the older generation. Now, Sandra is not tech savvy. She is not following trends. All she does is she sits in a chair and she shares 83 years of living. Every lesson that she can possibly pass down, she is doing it. So for the next couple of minutes, I'm going to show you why YouTube is a perfect hobby for women over 40, women like you, like me, women with responsibilities. And why Sandra Hart's simple approach could be exactly what you need to try. Now, let's talk about why you need this. The very first reason is you need something that is yours. At 40, 45, 50, you've spent time being needed by people, by your job, by your kids, by your aging parents, by your partner, by everybody except you. So who are you without being needed? You're somebody's employee. You're somebody's mom. You're somebody's daughter. You're somebody's partner. But when was the last time you were just you? You spoke for you. You looked after you. You created something for you, or did something that excited you, something that lit you up, not because somebody needs it from you. Well, let me get back to Sandra. Sandra Hart is 86-year-old woman. She's a former romper room teacher. She's a former actress, and she's an author. Her YouTube channel is called Life with Sandra Hart. And when you watch her videos, you can tell that this is her thing. This is a woman who just sits in a chair. She looks at the camera and she shares what she's learned over the years. She has various titles over best life advice that she can share, what 83 years of living has taught her. She says it so beautifully that she believes this is the best times of our lives, and a new chapter is already beginning that is waiting for us. She started at 77. If a woman can start a YouTube channel at 77, since you're in your 40s, what's your excuse? I really don't get it. Maybe you need to take time out to think about it. If you really want to do it, and I think every woman should try and have a YouTube channel, what's the worst that can happen? Honestly, what is it? Would we get banned? There are lots of over 20s, millions of 20-year-olds on this platform, and they're doing well. They're using it to boost their confidence. The difference is that when you're in your 40s, you're no longer looking for external validation, at least if you've done the work on yourself. You should have that confidence in you. Now, that's what hobbies do for us at this age. They remind us we're not just support systems for other people. We're still individuals with interest. We're individuals with voices, with ideas. And YouTube as a hobby says that I have something to say. I'm learning new skills. I'm creating something new for me. So she didn't set out to go viral. I mean, if you're 40 and you're looking to go viral, maybe you're mistaken, sis. You need to rethink this thing. So Sandra just decided that she was going to start something that was hers. She's gone through marriages and she's still there, standing firm, rooted in life's lessons. That's what hobbies tend to do. They give you back to yourself. And YouTube specifically, for me, I believe it's either low cost or it's no cost at all, because at the end of the day, what do you need? You need a phone and you need internet, which every household, or most probably every household now has. You can do it from home, and it's something you build over time. It grows with you. You're not just consuming content anymore. You're now creating it. There's a shift that happens once you become or decide to become a content producer. You start to view content from a different angle. It changes how you see yourself. It changes how you consume content, but also the time you spend consuming content. The second reason I think YouTube is a fantastic hobby is that it builds real transferable skills. Now, what you do is you will gain skills that you can transfer to something else or to other aspects of life. One, you will build communication skills, which is when you talk to camera. You learn to organize your thoughts quickly, articulate them, deliver them in a structured format from start to finish. You won't necessarily need a script. And I would encourage you to try as much as possible to do it off the fly. You get to the point and you speak with clarity. The second is that you will learn to be tech literate. So at our age, I find that some of us, women in our 40s, we tend to feel left behind by technology, even though we're walking around with mobile phones. But YouTube forces you to learn how to film, how to edit videos, how to use social media platforms if you're interested in influencing, how to create thumbnails, no matter how simple they are, how to understand analytics, which is data. That is a lot of career relevant life skills, a lot of life relevant skills as well as career relevant skills. You can take them to your work. Sandra is on YouTube, she's on Instagram, she's on Facebook, she's on TikTok. Yes, given she's probably not editing all her videos and putting them on all those platforms, I'm sure she has a very good inkling as to what the terms now mean. She has learned a bit about all these platforms because her hobby required it. Even if she has editors, probably through her daughters or her children, then she is doing really well. The third reason I think, the third skill that you will learn from doing YouTube as a hobby is creative problem solving. Every video is a little project that you do, you master it, you curate it from start to finish. You become a creative director because you're now making creative decisions constantly that keeps your brain sharp and keeps you on your toes at all times. 4 is confidence. Yes, when you put yourself out there, even to a small audience, you will build confidence, no matter how, I was going to say arrogant, but no matter how laid back you are. You're saying my thoughts matter, my experiences matter, and my voice matters as well. You owe it to yourself to put yourself out there. Yes, you might be seen by family members and you don't necessarily have to tell them you're running a YouTube channel. However, you need to be able to see the woman at the end of the other screen. You want to see the woman you become. Anyway, Sandra talks about self-esteem, living with purpose, making sense of life after the age of 60. These are deeply personal topics. When she shares them, when you have time, go and pop onto Sandra's YouTube channel and see how she delivers this. She is confident sharing them because she knows her experience has value and it's adding value to other people. At our age, sometimes we might feel invisible because society has decided that a lot of women in our 40s are getting to the peak and therefore it's probably down from then on. But creating content, even as a hobby, fights that. It places you right at the forefront of your career, of your life. You're actively creating value, you're actively contributing to life, you're actively visible because you're just not blending into the background. And here's what's beautiful. You don't need to be perfect at any of these. Sandra's videos are so simple. You can emulate her. It's just her, a chair, and her thoughts. There's no fancy editing, text are not flying up and down, and there are no special effects on Sandra's channel. But the skills that she's building, my God, the woman is doing amazingly well. She communicates well. She's learned about technology. She's creative. There's confidence. They're absolutely priceless skills. You can't simply pay money for these things. And that's what hobbies should do for you. They should make you more capable, not just pass time. It's not the same as scrolling on your phone. That's not a hobby. Number 3 is that it connects you to a community. I'm so impressed. I've gone live a couple of nights this week, and I can see that the number of subscribers, people who are joining the channel, are growing. Welcome to you all. Not only are they growing, but they're beginning to say hi. Initially, I was quite worried, thinking, am I building a community of people who are simply silent supporters? They're willing to be part of a community but won't say hi. That is not the idea. The idea of this community is that we build each other up, we cheer each other on. Should you want to start a YouTube channel, then go forth and do that until we evolve into different topics. We will continue to bang on this drum for you to start a YouTube channel, for you to put yourself out there, because it connects you to people outside of your own circle. You are made up of people who are in your circle at the end of the day. If you want to think about your life right now, you probably see the same people every single day, your colleagues, your family, maybe new friends. But when you start to create content, I've made new friends as a result of this hobby of mine. You meet people that you've never really met, you would never really have met otherwise. There are women who have connected and joined this channel all the way from Finland. I am super impressed. And that's the power of putting myself out there, of finding your people. Your people will find you, as they say. So at our age, that matters more than ever, because your kids will grow up one day. Yes, they may be tied to your waist right now, but they will grow up one day. They become individuals that form their own thoughts and ideas, and they will move on. Friends will move on. Life will change. But when you create content, you build a community that chooses to be there. You go live probably 2, 3, 4 times a week when you're retired from work. It keeps you grounded. It keeps you connected. They want to hear from you. People want to hear from you. I've seen women create sustainable communities online, and they bring them into the real world. Celia Talks on TikTok is an amazing example of somebody who's doing that. She's bringing a community and bringing them to the real world and taking them offline. And these women meet every now and again, have a wonderful time, fulfilling times, very rich moments being created. So YouTube as a hobby opens doors for you. You're not alone in your living room talking to a camera like I am right now, but you're simply part of a global conversation. And I think if you're thinking, okay, but what would I even talk about? Let me show you Sandra's approach, because it's brilliantly simple. And that is what I preach on this channel. The niches for women over the age of 40 can be as simple as you want it to be. I'm not encouraging you to find something outside of your day job. I'm asking you to reflect upon your days. How do you spend your days? How do you spend your week? Look at what you do repetitively in your own life and simply capture it. Document your life, document your thoughts. That's all I'm asking you to do. Take moments out of your day to reflect, to think. If it is journaling that you do regularly, then you may want to share hours it work for you. Find 100 ways to talk about one thing, and you are good to go. Our topics are all about life wisdom. Sandra Hart, 83, 86 this year. By the way, she will be 87 in 2026. So you can see that this is amazing. You can choose to talk about happiness and gratitude tips, dealing with rejection, toxic people, aging. These are some of the topics that Sandra has continuously spoken about. And that's it. That is the niche. That is your topic. Sandra's format is dead, alive, simple. Not to say dead simple. It's alive, simple. She simply just sits in front of a camera and she talks. She talks and shares her thoughts. She's not rushing through them. She's simply talking to them as if she's passing these lessons down to her granddaughters. That's what strikes me. So pick a theme. For her, it's wisdom. It's for matured women and young women alike. For you, it could be anything you want it to be, and make it simple. Make it a simple setup. It's you, your camera. If you want lighting, that's fine, but I think you're beautiful. Find daylight, sit in front of a very big window, and you're good to go, and just share honestly. That's it. That is the hobby. Because over time, you're simply sharing your voice, you're sharing your experience, and you're sharing your wisdom. There's somebody out there waiting to hear from you. And one last benefit is that the benefits compounds. Whatever it is that you decide to do on your channel, one day at a time, one video at a time, it compounds. Today, Sandra's YouTube channel has a loyal following. She has viral TikTok presence. She has Instagram and Facebook and Twitter accounts. She's got a personal website. She has a blog. She's got free workbook. She's got course. She makes podcast appearances. And it's something that started from a hobby, something that started as a creative outlet. This is something that is hers, and something like this could be yours as well. I'm not want to go into money, but if you choose to build this into a business, go for it, sis. Go for it. So who are you when nobody needs you? You may want to start answering that question from now on, before you retire, before the kids leave house, before you're made redundant from work, before you leave work. Who are you when nobody needs you? Until I come your way again next time, I will see you in the next video. Bye.